James is over here playing the piano. I think I'm going to sell my piano. I haven't played it in like a year.
I have one.
Yeah, that's not going to help
My kids haven't played it in a year. Actually, no, that's not true. We got a real piano from Nana and Pop Pop.
Like an acoustic piano.
Like a big ass one. Like they had
not an e-piano.
They had to hire people to bring it into the house. And,
the Steinway.
Something like that, yeah. And my son is on it all the time. He loves it. And so my wife is pretty stoked about that because he has pretty good ear for music. He's always listening to music and stuff. And so
I thought you guys played that live every time.
No. But that's him, right?
Oh my God, would you stop fucking telling people that
I do every episode. But he listens, so he should know that.
Yeah.
So.
He's probably already He's heard you say it 6 times. I'm going to have to write a new one, I think.
You're just going to start cutting me out.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, did you know? And then it'll be a blank, and then 15 seconds later, I'll be like.
You should like overlay like a chicken noise or something. Did you know?
I got to get. I'm going to program one into one of these things here so we can get. Like,
can you dig it?
We can get like a chicken sound.
That would be awesome.
Complete with the soundboard.
Dane clucking again. So,
all right, you got something to tell us?
Yeah.
Dad joke to start us off. Let's see. Penguin takes his car into a shop. Says
like the penguin from Batman or a penguin?
Well, it's a hot topic right now, but no, just a penguin, a tuxedo penguin. He's very lost from the polls. Takes his car into the shop, asks the mechanic, how bad is it? He goes, well, looks like you blew a seal. And he goes, no, it's just ice cream.
Oh, a two-parter.
Yeah. That was a double punchline.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a two-parter. So
I've got one I want to tell, but I'm just going to save it in case we need one for the next.
Do it in the middle. Just stop us
randomly.
cold.
We've had a couple of those. Like, what was it? Dave Slagle did one. Like in this parting, like he had it all planned out too. He's like, "You got any final thoughts?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's right. It was.
It was like the microbiologist joke. Or
yeah. Oh,
like
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
I rode with a microbiologist.
That's fun. Would you like to introduce yourself, my friend?
Sure, absolutely. One, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Big
absolutely.
fans.
Thanks
you
for
guys
coming.
are the background noise to a lot of my driving.
Nice. Podcasts are awesome for driving.
Yes.
I know, right? I'm Jimmy Nordloh. James, that's my legal name, but can't think anyone that would probably call me that. I am the SRAM Field guide for the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico. Been with SRAM for about 7 years now. Started in the warranty support team, the 1-800 hotline for dealers across the U.S.
Did you work with Alana?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and she's still there.
I don't have a crush over. I have like a professional crush on Alana.
A lot of
like
people say that.
A girl crush, but she's just such a cool person.
She's made a lot of good happen for Zipp. Yeah, no, she was the department manager for a time there.
Yeah.
But moved on to running the Zipp customer service before I joined. But yeah, she's a fixture there at the Indy office.
Yeah, she's helped me with so many boxer forks. You have no idea.
Okay, so before we get started, you just said something that made me think. I didn't even put two and two together that Zipp was part of SRAM.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So like maybe you could start out by educating us on like what are all the product brands that kind of fall under the SRAM umbrella.
I think I get that a lot. A lot of wait, SRAM owns that?
What?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, SRAM is a company that's grown by acquisition mostly. We find
organic.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Oh,
Finding people that are
nice.
good at what they do and, bringing them into the fold. So yeah, SRAM owns the brands RockShox, Zipp, Truvativ, Quark, Hammerhead, and most recently the apparel brand Velocio.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know all those brands except for Quark. Tell me about Quark.
So Quark was the standalone brand of the power meter technology for a long time. Now, more so, it's kind of just like absorbed into the inline road power meters, but we still, call out the licensed Quark technology. Mm-hmm. And that office is up in Spearfish, South Dakota.
Spearfish, South Dakota.
Right outside the Black Hills.
Offices everywhere. Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I'll list those off too. U.S. locations, Chicago, Global HQ, Indianapolis, Zipp Manufacturing Warehouse, and warranty and retail support. And then you got Colorado Springs, the home of RockShox. Now kind of our new flagship building. We moved recently to an all new facility there. That's awesome. Probably I think our biggest U.S. location now. Quark and Spearfish, kind of a smaller outfit. Those are all the engineers that started out working on the power meters. So it's a smaller, more agile team there. They're the kind of the nerds behind
the data guys.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that they don't need much space.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, where they started was basically a shed, and turned it into a huge product.
Yeah.
And then lastly, San Luis Obispo, and that was the home of Truvativ.
Oh yeah.
Before the acquisition. And that's still another an engineering forward office. So again, pretty skeleton crew.
Truvativ's still there. They're still doing stuff. So it's not, I noticed the cranks kind of got, absorbed.
Yeah. Same thing like Quark.
Yeah.
The Truvativ technology is still called out and licensed, I think still is, one of the terms of the acquisition back then. But yeah, Truvativ was basically, how we got our bottom bracket and crank, business and products up and running. For instance, they were the ones that pioneered dub.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So when you say the word absorbed, when you say that, basically what you're meaning is the core technology, the intellectual property gets rebranded now as a SRAM product or another one of your brands. It doesn't call out Truvativ all the time, but it's still part of the same family.
Yeah. Exactly. Think Avid as well.
I was just about
Avid
to say you missed one.
I know. We don't really call that one out as much anymore.
What is it? The little roll-em-a-jig on the back of the derailleur is still an Avid thing.
That is still stamped with the Avid mark. Yeah, exactly. On all Eagle Mechanical.
For anybody who worked at Avid, that's they just want to hear that
SRAM acquired Avid.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
That was, again, one of the early acquisitions.
Dude, I still keep a set of BB7s in my...
Oh, fantastic.
Such a great mechanical disc brake, right?
Yeah.
I just, eventually I'm going to build them up. They're so easy. And
they're great, especially if you're building a monster gravel. It's perfect because then you can run regular road stuff on it, but then put disc brakes on it. So
that's awesome.
There's a different leverage ratio if you use road levers. Did you know that? So there's a road BB7.
Yeah, a short pull versus long pull.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that would explain some problems I've had.
Yeah. Some people mix those up. You run the flat bar on the short pull road caliper, you're going to have about a millimeter of lever throw.
And the other way gets a little mushy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it still works. I mean, you probably won't die. Maybe. Yeah.
So I keep hearing all the bicycle strategists, guys like me, but for the bike industry, they talk about further acquisition, further consolidations happening. So I'd love to get some inside information. Who are you guys going to buy next?
Right?
Well, one, that is way above my pay grade. No, each one comes as a surprise to me.
What would you buy? What's a brand that you see that's out there that's ripe for the
Well, I tried to buy Gorilla Gravity, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I thought you could. I thought you could go clear.
No, they've already sold.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, they ended up selling all
Can't
this.
do Pro's Closet.
Yeah, they went back.
Pro's Closet went bankrupt.
Yeah, but then they just got bought.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. Another former employer of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
Interesting.
So
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I would probably go to the source, although I'm a little worried about China invading Taiwan.
I think there's a couple e-bike motor companies that are ripe.
Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened yesterday? Sorry. Keep going. We'll come back to the China topic. Keep going.
No, tell me about the China thing.
So China surrounded Taiwan with 65 boats and shut off
but they're all
the
fishing
airspace.
boats.
Yeah. They're not fishing boats.
They told us they were.
Yeah, exactly. I was going from the official report.
Yeah, no, I've been sworn off the news, and I haven't heard anything about the news other than bike stuff. I am definitely absorbing bike news. So.
Yeah, I think by the time that it'll be interesting to ask him if he knows who these guys are, because by the time we publish this episode, we will have published at least the first Faction Bike Studio. Episode.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Faction Bike Studio?
No.
Yes.
You'll have to listen. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're really excited about this episode.
Yep. Yeah. And then we'll have a second one.
We'll have a second one.
Yep.
Where we get into deep technology with the top of their R&D.
Yeah, I want to talk geometry.
You want to talk geometry? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's geometry.
Suspension, kinematics.
I feel so I'm trying to think. SRAM doesn't have shoes. They don't have helmets. There's a lot of stuff that SRAM could have.
There's so many players in that space already. I mean, so I guess on the topic of acquisitions, really the only two that occurred during my time, everything was, already well established. I joined SRAM in 2017. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, I think the most recent acquisition to there was probably, I think Zipp was the last one in 2007.
Yeah.
And that's when they outfitted the whole Indy office. But yeah, most recently in the last 2 years have been Hammerhead and Velocio. Hammerhead is a really cool tie-in. I mean, having a bicycle computer that's, just completely native to all SRAM AXS products has been a huge advantage. Yeah. I really genuinely never rode with a head unit before trying out my Hammerhead. And, now I'm like the kind of person that doesn't go out on a ride without a computer and a power meter.
So you know how Kleenex is like what we think of for nose tissue.
Yeah.
That's Garmin.
And so is Hammerhead like a Garmin?
I thought you were talking about Hammer, like the nutrition company.
No.
So I totally
that's kind of why I said this.
You're like talking about bike computers. I'm like, what the hell does Hammer make?
But it's
bike
not
computers?
a bike computer. It's a GPS, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a full on-suite GPS.
So like,
data
does it start playing well with all of these other things that are on the bikes that play well? It's not just SRAM stuff.
For sure. For sure. It's also AMP Plus compatible, etc.
Bluetooth, and then
it just like kind of streamlines specifically the SRAM integration. It's super easy.
Did you guys get jacked up by the Strava API change?
No.
Ooh, I didn't hear about that. So what does that mean?
Like all the roadies are freaking out.
Okay,
they totally have overwhelmed it. But Strava came out and changed their API, or they're about to change their API in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to prohibit integration with some other products, other apps.
Help me what an API is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is the protocol that enables kind of two disparate systems to talk to each other. It's kind of like
plugins.
It's like a bus system.
So think more like software code.
Yeah.
This is how you talk to, or this is how you use this
the
data.
Language.
Something like that.
Okay,
a translation protocol.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I understand it. I'm not a software engineer.
Yep.
But but I know everyone's freaking out about the API, but I think they're all overreacting.
Oh, okay.
Time will tell. By the time this podcast episode comes out, people will already know.
So they changed it to like shut out people?
Shut a couple apps out that were using their data in ways that they didn't think were appropriate, or were they violating their intellectual
they
policy.
switched to Pig Latin and didn't tell anyone what the
No,
translation
they announced it. They said, we're going to turn off the shoot to you, and you.
Oh, okay.
And everyone thinks, oh my God, Strava's not going to work with anything anymore. That's not true, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Who did shut out?
Not notice any interruption.
You're getting deeper. I probably shouldn't have brought this shit up.
Well, now what's funny is I don't even use Strava, so
I know you're all like, I'm like, yes, the death of Strava finally.
No, I actually like Strava for a lot of things. Like you can find trails, you can find people. Like Lacey stalks people on Strava.
It says stalk is the wrong word, but like finds interesting badass women to ride with is a better way to say it.
Yeah, she
Lacey's my wife, by the way,
which I actually think is smart, because you can go, hey, this person is riding at the same level I am. Maybe we can hit a ride or something, and I won't be waiting the whole time, or they won't be waiting. So I actually think Strava should integrate that. Kind of have.
Ooh, find someone that rides like you.
Yeah, like
you should suggest that as an idea.
Yeah, I know, because I'm smart. So
you are very smart.
So I got some SRAM trivia.
Go for it.
See if we can stump Jimmy. I doubt it. Seriously doubt it.
Yeah.
What was the first product, I would say, that people think was SRAM?
First product that people think was SRAM.
Our actual first product, or just?
I want to say, I'm afraid to say it was your first product because it wasn't called SRAM.
That's true. It's grip shift.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what. So grip shift was the start, right?
Yep. 1987.
Yeah, they started with a derailleur, and they started with shifters and then derailleur, and then they just kept going. So
yeah.
Josh, what do you think SRAM stands for?
I know what he's going to tell you.
I already have my own acronym.
No, I was going to say what is it? What does it translate to in Poland?
Oh, is it Polish?
Yeah.
Is SRAM Polish?
Have you've heard this? Right?
Yeah, I think it's like a euphemism. It's shit or something.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, it's anybody who doesn't like SRAM loves that trivia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have told me that.
Oh yeah. It is funny because you put it into Google and it happens.
I have a friend coming back from Poland next week that I'm going to meet and have lunch with her, and I'll ask her if SRAM means poop in Polish.
Okay, all right.
She'll be able to confirm.
What's your guess for those 4 letters?
What's my guess for? I'm going to look at the acronym right there. Speed racing, awesome machine.
That I like it.
Honestly, that
I'd
probably
put that on a bumper
better.
sticker.
Yeah. It's kind of more exciting than the real answer.
What's the real answer?
It's just an acronym. It's an acronym of the founding members of SRAM, first initials. So Scott, Ray, and Sam.
Yeah.
And Sam?
Yeah.
Yep. Sam was the last one.
Yeah.
Scott, Ray, and Sam?
Yeah.
Ray being the middle name of our longtime CEO, Stan Day.
Yeah. So
okay, so they just took random letters from Scott, Ray, and Sam and made SRAM out of it.
Yeah, an amalgamation of their first initials.
You think they had to like navigate? How long ago was that? Do you think?
I forget when the name actually got assigned, but I know that it was right before Interbike that year, and they didn't have a name for the company yet, so that's what they came up with.
I just wonder if you got to navigate this world. So, like, people ask about Guru bikes all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, there was a Guru Bikes. There was a bike company called Guru.
I still get those.
If you Google Guru, it still comes up.
They have a Guru fit system. So if you notice, Tyler's fit system is called Vandriff. So that he doesn't deal with that.
That's interesting.
And that's not why he did it, but that's one of the happy.
It's a good excuse.
Exactly, yeah. And I wonder if they had to like figure something out, have to think about that, because wasn't I know Santa Cruz's bike, the Solo, had to be changed to 5010, and then somebody else had to change their name. Envy.
Just for
Envy
IP,
used to be Envy. Envy
infringement?
used to be Edge.
Yeah.
Edge Composites,
Forgot
and they
about
had
that.
to change their name after a couple years because somebody in Europe, once they went global, they had to pay attention.
Interesting.
So
That's a good point. I think that was probably one of the motivations to just picking just the name.
just
Like,
slam
they
some
can't
stuff
copyright
together
this.
and making a unique name. I guess they didn't Google Polish.
which is ironic because there's a lot of Poles in Chicago.
Oh, there you
I
go.
didn't
Yeah,
think
that's
that
true.
you would be Googling in 1986. I'm just saying.
That's true. There you go.
Okay, I'm facing south, looking at your bench, and I'm seeing two signs of Shimano and SRAM. Why is the SRAM sign bigger?
So hey, you want to know some Guru trivia?
Yeah.
So Jimmy came in one time and he gave us a SRAM sign.
Yeah.
And I like SRAM. I like them both.
Yeah.
I really do. But he put it right over Willie's bench.
And Willie
Willie's a
moved it?
Shimano guy.
Yeah.
And so Willie complained to our Shimano rep.
And the Shimano rep brought in the Shimano sign.
Which just cracks me up.
It's like West Side Story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're all going to come out snapping our fingers.
Where's the micro shift? I'm expecting to see.
Yeah, that's in the
whatever.
last
Yeah,
slot.
that's not going to happen. So, although my kids' bikes have micro shift.
Do they really?
So, yeah, on their old ones, not on the new ones. So the new ones have SRAM. So
All right, Jimmy. So you've heard us talk on this podcast before. Like exclusively, I run Shimano. Today, I have run SRAM in the past for sure.
Yeah.
GX level or above. I think back in the day it was called X9.
yep.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Long time ago.
Yep,
Yeah.
X5, X7,
X9.
X9.
Yeah. I didn't mess with the X5 or X7, but X9 or above. So exclusively Shimano everything, brakes, drivetrain, everything. Sell me on SRAM. Tell me why I'm wrong.
It's such an open-ended question.
I know.
And honestly, you really can't get, a bad group set these days.
No, they both do great.
For sure.
And we mix them all the time, but don't tell Jimmy that. So,
I didn't even know you could do that.
I see it all the time.
oh God, yeah. Yeah. Like that's like the mechanic, I don't know, holy grail for us is to know what can work with what.
Okay.
And then Shimano coined the term A compatibility and B compatibility. And so that's a thing. That means that A is it's designed that way. B means you may be able to get it to work, but we're not going to guarantee it.
So, do you get all this on the dark web? Is that how you figure it out?
Yeah, actually, yeah. We go into the alley out back and the homeless people tell us. So,
I would say that if we're starting from current state, right now, you're going, into a bike shop to either buy a complete bike or a drivetrain. I mean, number one, the biggest thing, even from my time starting at SRAM, is just how much time, money, commitment has been invested in getting our quality, to near, nobody can say perfect, but it's night and day from, the kind of stuff that I supported from the warranty team, 6-7 years ago. And on top of that, as these products have developed, there has been the active, effort to make them as serviceable, replaceable, customizable as possible. So like leaving, those kind of like backwards compatibility options. Small individual replacement service parts. And I think going forward for anyone, that's ultimately what's going to make it kind of the best value drivetrain. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue when you can get a full XT group set for, the cost of, one XG cassette.
Yeah. That's true. And that's kind of something we talked about is like there's at certain price points, there's a winner. And at certain price points, there's,
not a winner
performance, and so it depends on your motivation. And once you hit a certain, we were talking on one podcast about SRAMs, kind of, there's a fairly good separation between each group as far as performance goes. And so as you move up, there's a good reason to move up. And with Shimano, there's sometimes not a good reason to move up. And so we see a lot more bikes outfitted at the lower end with Shimano stuff and a lot of bikes at the high end with SRAM stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it really stands out.
And that's I don't think that's a conscious thing other than, when somebody's looking at a $10,000 bike, it's very competitive. And a lot of them just want wireless and they want transmission. It becomes the clear winner. But when somebody's looking at a $3,000 bike, they kind of want Dior, if they're going to make a compromise between like a Dior and like an SX or something.
Is SRAM a public company?
No, it's still totally private.
Yeah. Okay, that explains why I can't find the third quarter performance on it. I was going to start asking you a bunch of questions about revenue and profit and what percentage of R&D is of revenue, but you can't tell me. That's
I mean, yeah.
He's like the lead Stoke guy.
Yeah, so exactly.
He's not the accountant.
I'm all vibes, not numbers.
Yeah, but the reason I was asking is you're saying, hey, listen, we've invested significantly in all the things that you talked about, right? Small parts, maintainability, reverse compatibility, all that kind of stuff to make it easier for the user to use your products, right? I was just curious at like what percentage of your revenue are you actually investing to do that?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know offhand, but I do know for certain that, SRAM has been very smart to bring in a lot of very smart people as we've grown so that we don't, make the kind of mistakes that a growing company often does. So, I mean, obviously the pandemic was unprecedented times for every bike manufacturer, but I mean, it meant that we really capitalized on that and, take that huge boom. And I know that a lot of that basically goes right back into our manufacturing R&D. I mean, engineering and manufacturing are 100% the things.
So not hookers and blow.
Maybe in the old days.
Thought you guys were cool.
Maybe erase that part.
Maybe in the old days. That was the interbike days.
Yeah. I mean, SRAM really did start with like a very punk rock origin. Those guys were wild.
Yeah.
Well, they've done a good job at rebranding because I do not see them as a punk rock brand. I just don't.
I remember back in the day, we would have like people that wanted American made bikes.
Right.
And so you always got the SRAM grip shift and SRAM derailleurs. Like
that had the American flag on them.
Yep. Yeah. They actually had an American flag one. And so there was kind of this definite American made, but they've just become so much more global since then. Yeah. And manufacturing for everybody has moved to wherever it's most efficient, and rather than just in a place to be in a place. So,
well, I've researched this extensively, and I've concluded that it's better manufacturing in Taiwan than there is in the United States. Honestly.
They've got the practice, like if we had 20 years,
see the facilities there. Yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the Taipei Bike Show next year.
Oh, nice, awesome.
That's the goal. So.
Assuming that China doesn't take over Taiwan.
I know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I might be visiting myself in I think late spring to the SRAM facility, which I'm really
the SRAM facility I keep hearing about is pretty amazing.
Jimmy, can you get us into it if we go over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We're gonna have to start doing videos.
Why?
Just so we can show people this stuff.
Oh yeah, we can do that. We just don't want them to show us.
No,
as soon as we have like a 40% female demographic. As soon as they see our faces, Dane,
we'll just walk arm in arm, and we'll wear GoPros chesties so they can't actually see us. Yeah. So and it's just we'll just hold handlebars in front of us as we walk through.
Oh, here's some good trivia for you, Josh. How many people do you think SRAM employs?
Let's see. So I just heard on one of the Bike Strategist podcasts, which is outstanding, the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
Something that surprised me, and I haven't independently verified that, nor would I be able to because SRAM's a private company, but I heard that SRAM and Shimano are the two biggest companies in the bike industry.
That probably tracks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess 3,000.
That's a pretty good guess.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Is it?
What do you think?
12. I think there's 12. Oh, 1,200.
Or 12? You think you're guessing 12,000?
No, just 12 people.
Jimmy's 9% of the company sitting right here.
We just talked to Outbound. Yeah. They have like 6 people.
Yeah.
I had a funny interaction like that when I asked a power sports shop that was bringing in some new e-bikes. Like, they were just asking some stuff about SRAM. And, coming from the power sports side, like these huge companies like, PR Mobility is KTM.
Oh, so gas.
Yeah, all those. That's like a $20,000 employee corporation.
Yeah,
sucks that they're going out of business though.
I don't think it's the whole thing. I think it's a division.
They're going out of business.
The whole thing.
I'll send you some articles.
Oh shit.
We'll tear into that later. But just like the reference point of like the bike industry, they're like, oh, you're the bike rep for this brand. They're like, I don't know, 500 people. And I was like, oh, well, it's about 5,800.
Oh, I was like, that wasn't a good guess. I was 50% right.
That's better than mine.
Like I said, most people either go like, 500 people or like 12,000. Yeah.
Okay, so you're much bigger than I realized.
Yeah. So I mean, about 3,000 of that is Taiwan alone.
Wow.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Dude, they make a lot of
stuff. So a lot of you guys have your own manufacturing.
SRAM
does their own manufacturing.
SRAM owns its manufacturing facilities in Taiwan.
So that's the difference between some of the other companies.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone that manufactures a SRAM component is a SRAM employee.
Yeah.
Do you guys manufacture for anyone else?
No.
Okay. Want to? You gotta ask.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, is there any brands that we don't know about? Like,
component wise, I mean, it's just so niche. I mean, that's obviously a much more like viable option in the frame and OEM space.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This engineering studio was cool because it kind of compartmentalizes all the jobs. You can go hire them to do your engineer design.
He's talking about Faction Bike Studio now.
Yes, yeah. It hasn't dropped yet, so
hasn't. Well, they will by the time this comes out. They will have heard it.
So
Jimmy doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So this is an engineering firm that kind of is behind the scenes. And then you can go hire Meridia or whoever, Giant or whoever to build your frame, and then you can
CLV.
Yeah, you can hire. I just spaced. We Are One or
We Are One in Canada.
Yeah, to do your hoops, and then you can hire.
So We Are One's making hoops for other people.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Industry 9, and I think they're doing the birds, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Don't quote me on that and don't get me in trouble, but I think they're doing the bird hoops and they're doing the I-9 hoops.
Well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Right? The illusion of choice.
Bottle of whiskey and some Googling.
And that guy's cool because they're manufacturing them. So, and then you get somebody else, like 5Dev, to make your cranks, and so you could build a whole bike just by hiring people to do it,
I mean, you could build a whole bike by hiring people in Tucson to do it.
Right here.
I don't know, man. Who's going to make the cassette?
Anuco on 22nd and Pantano.
The cassette is probably one of the most impressive pieces of manufacturing.
Yeah. I mean, remember, I'm making.
I know, but
that cassette would just cost $12,000.
I'm making super precision, like multi-tens of millions of dollar products that have.
So they could manufacture.
Yeah, you guys could easily bang it out.
Raytheon could make the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But we wouldn't do that. But I'm saying from the supply base in Tucson, we should do that.
And the bike would only cost the government $100,000.
Dude, are you kidding me? Like $100 million. Like we're talking about government contract, Like
that we
toilet
have
is $1 million.
One of the federal acquisition regulations says that every piece of metal in a defense product has to have come from been smelted in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah. You know how fucking hard it is to find a screw and prove that it was smelted? You're paying like $8 for a screw.
I know.
It's impossible.
I don't understand that. Do they do? Yeah.
It's about it's good intentions about protecting the industrial base. We want to have the capability in the United States to do that. And so they're spending their money in a way it's a good idea, but in practice it makes it impossible. And that's why you've got $500 hammers.
Yes. That's what, what was the toilet? It was like $100,000 toilet or something like that. I don't know. So I'm glad
we don't make toilets.
I'm glad bikes aren't like that.
That's SRAM's next product.
Toilets. Oh.
All right, so keep selling me, man.
Yeah. What else? So
What else? Why should I switch? Why should I not buy that sweet Pivot Firebird in extra large on sale over there with full XTR before I leave tonight? Because I'm seriously thinking about it.
Well, there is the whole aspect of like having, the kind of holistic group set on your bike of a fully SRAMmed RockShox Zipp, is that, they're all sharing very similar design language, like engineering language, that they're all pretty similar to work on. Share batteries, for instance.
Yeah, I do like that.
Versus, right now, you can have a fully wireless, flight attendant bike, that you can interchange the batteries with the drivetrain. Meanwhile, if you want to have the same kind of setup from our competitors, you've got internal Di2 batteries, tubes, a Fox Neo battery now.
Yes.
And, you have...
Or the old Fox Live stuff, which is a different battery than that one.
Which is...
Their dropper. I think the Neo shares the dropper.
Yes. The shock and the dropper.
They're learning. Yeah. So, that's my biggest thing with Shimano that I always tell Josh is like, They just wait a long time to do stuff, and then they do a good job. Realistically, they do a good job. They're just way behind everybody. Like I've been studying up on e-bikes lately, and their drive system is just getting beaten like you wouldn't believe. Like left and right, people are just bailing on their drive system, and I don't know when they're going to have a new one come out.
At the OE level, you mean? I mean, Bosch is taking that.
Bosch is kicking everyone's butt, and I don't think it's because Bosch is cheaper. I think it's just because Shimano's just not really come out with anything very new other than, maybe a software update, or something like that.
That's the big contrast between the two. Shimano is the, tried and true Leviathan of manufacturing and design. They can bring something to market and mass produce it and have it be really good.
Yes.
Whereas, we move a little faster and
significantly faster.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
that comes with growing pains. Like honestly, I think SRAM does get some grief for that sometimes. If to the consumer perspective, it can be it can feel like a product release that isn't fully ready yet, and that's kind of the question of, well, would you rather have it 90% of the way done and use it right now, and fix it when any potential problem arises, or wait 5 years for it to be perfect?
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what it is. Is it's I don't even think they know it's 90%. They think it's 100, but it just hasn't gone through every possible scenario.
Exactly.
Something pops up. So, like, I was going to ask you. I got a question for you. What do you think is the product that SRAM has made in the last 5 years? We could do that to 10 years.
5 years is a good window. 10 years opens up some stuff.
The worst one that you don't want to hear about anymore, and the best one that you can't shut up about.
These are great.
Yeah.
These are great.
So, like,
if it's opened up to 10 years, I mean, it's obviously...
Do it to 10 years.
It's Avid Elixir.
Yeah.
I mean, that haunted us.
Yeah.
Haunted us for a long time.
Yeah. Well, you changed the name.
Yeah.
Like the brakes are no longer called Avid. So we were just talking about that.
Is that why the name was rebranded?
It's one of the reasons.
It's one of the reasons.
Yeah. To just get rid of that
the association.
Stigma. That stigma. Yeah.
Yeah. For anyone listening that might not have suffered through the Avid Elixir bleed process, the Elixirs weren't as bad. The Juicies were bad.
It's funny because here's my perspective as somebody who's not working for SRAM. So, and as long as I've been doing this, there was a problem with the Juicies. The Juicy brakes had an issue where the main master cylinder pistons would kind of swell and get stuck inside the brake lever, and they would get a sticky piston, and it was basically not move, and it would kind of keep your brakes on, and then you couldn't bleed them. You had to pull them apart and rebuild them. So they redesigned the brake, and they came up with this amazing design of a cone kind of style taper bore piston that would get rid of this problem. And they called it an Elixir. And they were like, this is going to change your life. This is the best brake ever. Yeah. And then there was another problem. So I would say, those two, like, ironically, I feel like one of the worst things that's happened is after the Elixirs, they came out with guides, which I loved, and I still rock them on my bikes. Mm-hmm. But they went back to the same piston as the Juicies. And they ran into the same problem because, as far as I know, and tell me if I'm wrong, on the guide brake, there's only one part that they don't make. Is that right?
He's got us.
Yeah. It's the one part.
That's it. The problem part is the one they don't make.
The one problem, yeah. And I think
Damn
it's
supply base.
absorbing fluid. I think it swells. I've heard mixed reviews on what causes it, but I know how to fix it.
From what I understood is that, so yes, Josh, like I mentioned earlier, we do produce essentially every single SRAM component.
Yep.
Dane is right.
Yes.
That the one subcomponent that we did not manufacture in-house
In those brakes
was the master piston.
Yep.
For guides. They were purchased from vendors, in nearby town. Everything gets made on the same.
It's just a weird material that they wouldn't normally.
No, it's the same material. It's the same Delrin material. From what I understood is that basically just the starting dimension was slightly out of spec, meaning when it got to its upper ranges of thermal expansion, then it was out of spec.
Yeah.
So had it been, at 100% the right spec that we had requested, it, was designed to ideally accommodate for that kind of expansion. But yeah, obviously if you're starting out at an overall bigger resting diameter, when that expands past that, then
all you had to do is put an ice cube on it to get it to work.
That's true.
Ironic, yes.
That actually is true.
I just made
Did
that
you hear
shit
that?
up. No,
that's
I just
true.
made that up, but it makes sense.
Genuinely, I'll tell an anecdote. This was when I was working at the Pros Closet, actually, 2016. So guides were like fresh out.
Yep.
I was a long time Shimano rider, kind of just because like it's what was in bike shops, it's what would work.
They go through cycles too.
Yeah.
Like,
like the XT group of 2016, like the 11 speed, what gen was that? Like
shit, I don't know, because they have numbers, and so it's like
that's
I
the
don't
other
even
thing,
know
Josh.
if they were
Buy
8s.
SRAM because it's easier to keep track of all their product tiers and names.
Yeah.
There is that.
There's so
For
many.
fuck's sake.
Is it 8130, 8120,
Yeah.
8000? Were they at 800? I'm not sure.
It was whatever preceded the 8000 group, where it got like the glossy finish, with the silver brakes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I lost it after those.
Yeah.
So that's what I rode for a long time. I was working at the Pros Closet in Boulder, summer of 2016. I bought my first all SRAM bike, SRAM GX.
Yep.
That was the year that Eagle came out.
Yeah.
So sorry, not GX. It was XO because it was just that at launch.
Yeah.
XO, Eagle, Pike, Monarch, Reverb.
Yep.
And Guide RSC brakes. Yeah. I was like sick. My
Yeah.
first full SRAM sweep. Yeah. And first ride that we go out, like little company launch ride, go to Left Hand Canyon. It's middle of the summer, so it is pretty hot. Bike's been on the back of the car on the drive there. And, climb up, not using the brakes then.
Yeah, no problem.
Do the 1,200 foot ass kicker of Left Hand Canyon or whatever it is. And immediately when I start the descent, the first time I pull my brake levers, they just,
Stay in.
Yeah. I mean, I come to a stop and then my brake levers will not release. I can't even push my bike. The wheels won't spin.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. The failure mode of these brakes being full brake on makes it for, so I carry my bike on my shoulder down to the creek crossing that we're at.
And dip it in the creek.
And flip my bike upside down so that the lever bodies sit in the cool running water for about, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And I got through the rest of the ride. Got back to work after that and immediately took the guides off and put those XTs back on. And then the very next summer was when I was then working at SRAM and then covering and replacing the guide levers.
And you were the guy that everybody talked to on the phone.
Yeah.
And you're like, here's some new ones.
Yeah, exactly. I got
we would get a box of them just to change out for people so there was no delay.
Yeah.
Just from a warranty perspective.
Yeah, because one of the things that happened was SRAM recognized there was a problem and they just tried to fix it as fast as possible. But we saw it more in the desert,
just because of the heat.
It's just the heat.
Yeah.
But it, until we really knew what was going on, we would have somebody come in and be like, yeah, my brakes don't work. And we're like, great. We'd write them up, at the register and get a ticket, and we'd roll it into the back and put it into the back until the next day when we work on it. And then
they'd feel fine.
The tech would get it and he's like, what's wrong with the brakes? They work great.
Yeah.
Because it had cooled off inside. And it took us a while before we realized what was going on. And then we started using a hairdryer to test them. And so then you could get the heat up inside the shop and see if they were sticking.
Oh, interesting. So did you guys have recourse against the supplier?
Actually, I'm not really sure what happened there, but
That's probably some deep knowledge there.
yeah, that is some.
I'm going to keep asking the deep knowledge questions. I can't help it.
Well, I'm just imagining there's like one lawyer that knows actually what happened.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely put my foot in my mouth. But I will say, like, one of the really interesting like considerations of doing business in Taiwan is that you really cannot burn bridges like that. Even if we had recourse with them, like.
Yeah.
The relationships are more important than
exactly. It's such $5
million you'd get back. Right?
Yeah, it's such a small pool over there. Like I was saying, like everything basically gets manufactured in the same square mile in this industrial section of Taichung.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, sure you could go after them, but ultimately they know everybody else that owns all the other factories and whatnot. And like I mentioned, SRAM is in the unique position of owning most of its manufacturing, so we don't really have to worry about that as much. But even just keeping face in businesses is huge in Taiwan, China, especially. Like, I mean, it's like it's an honor culture, so anything perceived as a slight or offense like can actually
serious.
Can have big business implications. Like, do you guys know Rodeo Labs out in Denver?
No.
They do these really cool like bespoke gravel bikes. Well, not really bespoke anymore. It's almost like production level.
Nice.
Shout out Steve if he listens to this.
Yeah. Send it to him.
Yeah, and he's he's got a really good article about they do their frame manufacturing overseas, and he had a really good blurb about like kind of just like not like hounding, just like kind of prodding one of his like suppliers, just like, hey, you kind of like left us hanging on this, like what can I do better too, like in the future, like a really pragmatic response to it. And it turned into, basically this whole like kind of like, K-pop drama kind of story thing. Like where they, their response was like, well, we're just never going to make frames for you again. He's like, what?
That's not what I meant.
I just
need the 4 frames that are on order.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the story has a happy ending. I think he reconciles with that vendor, but he's just like, wow.
I've had customers like that I kind of wish they'd send me an email that says, hey man,
I'm not
what did I do?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to take us on we're going to come back to what he thinks the best product is.
Yeah. Cause the next is to find out the best.
I'm using a RockShox product right now.
Okay.
That I'm just fucking in love with. And so I'm going to break form.
I'm going to guess.
Okay. Guess.
It's the Reverb AXS.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
No, take another guess.
No.
Dane installed it in one of my products, something that came out recently.
The Charger 3.1 damper.
That's exactly it with Buttercups as well.
Nice.
Buttercups. Yeah. I told you the Buttercups are.
Oh my God, dude! I had a
there.
baseline Zeb on my RockShox or on my Rocky e-bike.
Yeah.
Power play altitude. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dane had me take it off to try another shock, or another fork, which was good.
Yeah.
When it worked. I had some problems with it. And
by the way, that's on my bike right now.
Okay.
And I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. It's completely. It's just because you're fat. That's what
it's totally.
It probably is actually.
No, it's not. You know what? You had the settings all goofy again.
You set it up, motherfucker.
No, something happened. Something changed.
Yeah.
Because I just changed the settings. I even told the guys when you see the guys next, you can ask them. So I was like, "What the hell did he do to this?"
You did it.
No,
I didn't touch that. I'm not even going to name the.
I think Maddie.
Did you get your own recommendation set up on a Trailhead?
No.
No, this wasn't a RockShox product.
Okay.
Yeah, the one we're bantering about is a different product.
A different product. We won't name it. But so meanwhile, I had that on my bike and I had this kind of baseline Zeb, and I'm like, and then I saw all the stuff about the 3.1, and I'm like, oh, and Dane's like, dude, in Buttercups, and I'm like, all right, dude, order it. So I had him install it so I made my baseline Zeb an ultimate, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Much different.
I'm selling everything and buying this for all of my bikes.
Yeah. I just did another one. There's another lyric that's coming in, and I'm doing the same thing too.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Just the full 3.1 assembly, or are you doing just the drop in into a Charger 3?
No, it doesn't have Buttercups, so it's a select.
So you're doing the full assembly.
So help me out with that, because it's a lyric, but it's got a high speed and low speed charger. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a 3.0. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, but it doesn't have Buttercups, so it's a Select Plus.
Yep.
And so you can't just stick Buttercups on the end of that.
No, we don't have them. You still need the full damper assembly and air spring assembly. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were changing the travel already, and I'm like, I'll get you the Buttercups. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, but it's only half the story. Like it's only half the fork.
A little bit more of the story.
And
That's true. You're not going to get the whole benefit.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I think, and because he was asking me, he actually asked me on the rear shock. It's a super deluxe select about maybe putting it as an ultimate. And so that's one of the calls that I made to you guys about that new, you can now take the rear shocks, the RockShox,
and upgrade the damper, the reservoir body.
The reservoir. So these are the ones with a separate reservoir, and you can convert them into essentially ultimates, which is much more cost effective than buying a new rear shock.
Yeah.
So, and that's really cool. That modulation is something that I really push for, because as a dealer, it allows me to stock one product and modify a bunch of different other products, which is really cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're a heavy dude on a heavy bike, which is what that is.
Yeah.
That setup is,
Yeah.
that Zeb with that 3.1 in the Buttercups is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think I've said on this podcast a couple times, the new RockShox stuff, the Buttercups, essentially, anything with Buttercups is just such a game changer for them. It's really moved them up so many places than they used to be. And it's always been good product, but I've been a DVO fan because of the suppleness. And now there's a diehard, like, serious competitor to that I am. 2 of my bikes are RockShox now. So, and that's saying a lot. Now, I'll tell you, the van has DVO on one side and RockShox on the other. So,
Two-face.
yeah. So, I just depends on how I park it. So,
all right. So I just had to break form and give you guys some kudos on something I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what's the most popular product?
Yeah. What can't
Most
you
popular?
shut up about?
I guess quick trivia on Buttercups. You know where the inspiration for that technology came from?
Engine mounts? No.
I mean,
Yeah, it's an engine mount.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically,
Don't know.
But specifically chainsaw grips.
no way. Oh wow.
Oh shit.
makes so
As
much
I've heard
sense.
it, some RockShox product folk were, there's also an office up in Vancouver in British Columbia, another technical support office there, and also there's some brand folks that live out there, and they're really obviously involved in the community and whatnot. But yeah, like talking to some like big time, timber folks, loggers, trail builders, the people that you run into on Seymour.
betcha.
Yeah. The kind of Canadians you run into on Seymour Mountain. But, someone saw it like, they're basically, isolating the grip from the rest of the chainsaw body with this kind of, elastomer plastic. What if, or rubber.
Yeah.
If we applied that to lower legs.
Yeah. It's so basically the lowers are mounted to one piece, and the damper and the air shaft are mounted to another. And there's basically it's not going to come apart, but there's basically rubber bumpers on either side.
Right.
So that you get this extra level of suppleness that comes from that.
Yeah. What they're really tailored for too is like the high frequency kind of vibration of a fork. It's not like a shock absorber. Like it still translates a lot of the force that you get through an axle and lower legs.
Yep.
Yeah. It's specifically that kind of like really high frequency stuff that just like contributes to fatigue over a long day.
It's worth noting that I'm running rev grips on that bike as well.
Oh,
so I got like double damping or something, triple damping.
I want to try those out just to see.
That plus some fast flex bars.
I don't have any fast
Is that the
flex
ones
bars.
with the pivot in them?
Yeah.
I
You
haven't.
won't even be able to feel the trail.
Yeah. They're like suspended bars.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a max weight limit on those things.
I don't know, man. Downhillers use them, so I think you could.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, back to favorite products, best products.
Most liked product.
Yeah, like what you can't stop talking about. Or couldn't, like really, like it doesn't have to be current. You don't have to go with
He's
just
going to say
current.
transmission.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't want to corral you into the latest and greatest, because that's your job all the time. But what is it that you think made?
Well, I'll close out on guides, because like guide was also one of the toughest moments in SRAM's recent history.
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, I had come from being a Shimano brake guy for a long time. And then I mean, the guide brake is what made me finally appreciate our brakes and like kind of the difference in feel and approach to just,
I'm glad you clarified, because I didn't realize that the guides actually fixed the juicy Elixir problems.
Guides still have a problem. They still used to have a problem. But now that it's fixed, it was basically a manufacturing flaw. or tolerance issue
on one piece. The rest of the brake was solid.
And
but that's not on anything new that we can buy now.
Yeah,
that's on old stuff.
No, even the new G2s,
all of our
and stuff like that.
Yeah, all of our current dot brakes still basically follow the same design of the guide. So the design was solid. It was a great brake, just unfortunately plagued by that manufacturing.
It was bad luck.
But I just want to make sure that for our listeners, they understand that that manufacturing issue's been resolved.
Yes, as of 2018.
And to give you a clue, I fixed those. I have so many bikes with guides on them from that era, and I would fix them because what Jimmy was saying is the tolerance of that piston was out, and when it would heat up, it would bind inside. It would basically be taller than the seals.
So were you grinding them down or something?
Yeah, I put them on a lathe and I take them down. And I know he's shaking his head like, God damn it, why are you doing that? But I'm running those brakes today. They're on my downhill bike. I run guides on my downhill bike, and they are great brakes. Like I couldn't give them up.
The only disclaimer there for the average Joe is that if you run it down too much, then you have not enough diameter, and then you're gonna have brake bypass.
Don't do what Dane does.
I am a professional.
Do as he says, not as he does.
Yes, I am a professional, and honestly, the right way, you remember I was a team mechanic, so this is a fix that we would do on a Friday before a race on Saturday. The real fix is you can just get the new pistons. They sell
or a new lever assembly. That's what we eventually got to. Just swap. It's so easy to swap a lever assembly on SRAM brakes.
They would send us boxes of levers because it's literally you just basically put a new, olive and barb on and then pop it on and do a quick bleed. You didn't even have to do a full bleed, honestly.
Wow.
And then it was done. And so it was super easy. And that's how they helped people, through that problem. But we had some Friday race on Saturday issues and we came up with a fix. And I have 2 or 3 sets of those brakes. They're still rocking and they're great. So, the new pistons, if you get the rebuild kits, are in tolerance.
Yeah.
And so we haven't had any problems with any of the new stuff.
Within the tolerance.
Yeah. It's been
within the tolerance.
Not intolerant.
Well, they're totally intolerant, but
resolved and contained for many years now. So
yeah. So,
but that doubles as kind of like one of the quote unquote worst and best products. Because like I said, that was
caused a lot of problem, but function when they were working great, they were better than pretty much everything on the market.
And that's what I kind of had to commit to too, like learning myself. Because I'll be honest, that first summer taking all those calls, I was like, I should just quit this job.
That's got to be rough.
Every day it was nearly 100 phone calls of, I've got these guides and they don't work. And I'm just saying, I'm so sorry.
You're like, you've got a guide with a problem, press 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it ran for a while.
Yeah.
But just being firsthand, obviously there were some very upset people and for good reason. But for the most part, when we finally got, the fix rolling and everybody could, communicate it, went a long way when shops were like, hey,
we know what's going on. Just how do we fix it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that kind of shaped my view of both the brake and SRAM.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, but
there's something about taking care of your customers.
Yeah. It's important. And the bike industry has a reputation of kind of testing on the customers.
Some companies are better than others for sure.
I remember Cannondale's back in the day, they'd be like, "Oh, that's not working. We're just going to change it."
Yeah,
and that was a thing.
We're just such a small industry. We don't always have the resources to like you said before. It's not like anybody is deliberately trying to release a product that isn't done. It's just that we just test it as much as we can within one finite window to everything we can imagine, and then there's the real world.
Oh, by the way, Josh and I discussed this on the last podcast, which will come out after we record this one. Can't keep it straight.
You just confused the shit out of our. This is like 2 episodes ago, listeners.
But we are open to creating and hosting a research and development facility here in Tucson
to help us break stuff.
Yes, so not only break stuff, but honestly, GM has a desert proving ground for that reason. Yeah. And so I do see some product releases by SRAM out in the desert here.
Yeah.
And you'll see them.
There's a few testers.
We can definitely test pedal strikes here.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And heat.
And extreme heat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, I forgot one of our brands.
Oh Jesus. What'd you forget?
Time pedals.
Oh, Time pedals.
Oh, yes. Wow. Look at that.
Fired.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I know. And those are my favorite pedals. I rode time even before I worked at SRAM.
Oh,
before
I'm going to cut this out and paste it right when you were listing all the brands.
Yeah,
Great.
there you go. He won't do that.
I probably will just because you said I won't.
Shit.
But yeah, I would say the product that I can't shut up about, and it's going to make me sound like such a shill because it is the most premium product we make. It's the Reverb AXS.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I will never go back to a cabled dropper. I mean, just install, service alone, and just like the immediate feel of a wireless remote to a cable. I'm so spoiled when I do ride a mechanical dropper lever. I'm like, oh, my thumb, ow, so much effort.
I feel like you should have changed the name of it.
You just Reverb in general, you mean?
Yeah, when that wireless came out, they should have called it a different name.
Well, the thing is, it is a Reverb, though.
I understand that, but here's why. There's again, back when droppers came out, and there was only one good one, and it was the Reverb, and every bike had it, so there was a billion of them out there. And they had some failures, and they had some design problems that they went through.
Another tough one.
And they also use like a hydraulic actuator instead of a cable. And all of those stigmas are stuck to it. And it is not that product anymore. It is a totally different product, and it performs so much better than what people think the Reverb name has. Does that make sense?
I mean, you definitely have a point. I mean, that is the reason that we ultimately moved away from the Avid branding. That's why the guide naming eventually changed to G2.
Yep. Yeah.
Again, like not the only reason why, but like those are definitely.
It has a side effect of getting rid of some of the stigma.
Yeah. And Reverb again. That was another product that had some iffy reception early on.
Bumpy road of research and development, and it's crazy because again, I've been around and using all these products during this, and back when Reverbs were around, there was nobody making a good dropper. I mean, it was the best, smoothest.
I think that was 2010. Yeah, was when the first Reverb came
I
out.
have one of my vintage products on the wall is going to be a gravity dropper. Creaky mess of a dropper with a pin, like a
and that was like at the
pin.
Same time era.
It was the same time as the Reverb, and the Reverb was so much better. But
it was expensive.
Yeah, but there has been a period of time where Reverb didn't really change too much. They got rid of some of the problems kind of late. And so everybody else came out with pretty good working stuff.
Yeah.
So I haven't tried a Reverb yet because I can't afford it.
Well, especially the access, because
that is the complicating factor.
Yeah. So you guys do anything about that? Do we have anything to look forward to?
Well, I mean, the current Reverb AXS is coming up on nearly 5 years old. So, I mean,
what's the product life cycle at SRAM? Do they have like a set one, or is it just kind of go?
It's not set. I would say, like a lot of the bike, well, I guess more on the component side, like OEM frame manufacturers run on like a 1 to 2 year cycle of just color changes and stuff. I feel like hard parts components are usually closer to like 3 to 5 year cycle.
Yeah.
Unless you're Shimano, and then it's measured in decades.
Yeah, right. Unless it's Shimano Saint, and then it's measured in
centuries.
Yeah,
it's the Century Saint.
Yeah, the different monarchies that it outlasted.
Oh my God, Bashar Assad is gone. Come and gone. They're still the same.
Saint did outlast the Syrian regime.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
This is now a politics podcast.
Yeah, no politics. No,
not at all.
But yeah, I mean, if that tells you anything, the writing's kind of on the wall there. We're definitely butting up against that 5 year window. But yeah, the Reverb AXS has been a really solid product, and it is that B1 generation Reverb, just essentially eliminating that hydraulic remote, which was the issue for. Again, another thing that I intimately supported and troubleshot where
it's a C1, right? Because it's got the purge valve.
No, so it is the B1 Reverb. It just had the vent valve added as well. So the C1 is actually a completely different design from the Reverb AXS.
I mean, I know my kits are different, but I mean, they all look roughly the same inside.
So what would it cost me to get into a Reverb AXS MSRP right now?
800, 850.
Yes, it's dropped down from $899 to I think $699. It's $699 now because
It doesn't come with a remote.
Yes, it's $699 MSRP for post alone, and then you have to pair it with your AXS control of choice.
Yes, and so the key is that there's different remotes and ways to pair it because they now have a gravel access dropper. So you can get a gravel version. So, you know, you don't want it to come with a lever that
you don't need.
That you don't need.
Yeah.
So they split it up.
So you can operate a Reverb AXS post with any AXS
So
controller.
is it like $100 for the controller?
It's $150 for a pod basic.
Yeah. So $850 to get into a Reverb.
Yeah, and you can. So here's the crazy thing: is you can get like the AXS 2-button pod instead of the RockShox Reverb lever, which is like a 1-button, and then you can assign buttons on the AXS app, which we haven't talked about. Which we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Just in general, all of the AXS stuff, you know, because we have Jimmy here and we need to talk about that stuff. But we're all of us are looking at the clock right now going, it's been an hour. We're going to have to do 2 of these, you know, just to get it all in. But basically they split it up because you could have it on a road bike and it may have a built-in lever in your shifter, or you could have it on a mountain bike with one type of lever or a mountain bike with another lever. You can run 2x.
We're talking about this just like, you know, previously with mechanical drivetrains, like there were still a lot of people interested in running a mix of road levers with mountain drivetrain.
Yep.
And basically what AXS does, I mean, this is another point towards you, Josh, is eliminate that consideration of, is this going to work with this shifter?
Yeah.
Every AXS
doesn't have to worry about the pull ratio.
Exactly. It's a button.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it does whatever. I mean, so even just look at, 13 speed. We had Explorer release earlier in August. That's the same shifter. We don't need any more buttons. We don't need any more pulls. The shifter does as many shifts as the derailleur does.
So you can change from 12 to 13 by
pairing to the
cassette
derailleur
and derailleur, and that's it. So
because all the button's doing is sending a signal to the thing, whether it's derailleur or dropper, and says do your thing.
Yep, exactly.
It doesn't care about care about pull ratios or any of that
exactly
stuff.
Which is really nice. I always say it's a language. So you just assign the language, and then it speaks Greek to the front derailleur, and it speaks French to the rear derailleur, and then that way they don't communicate. They don't miscommunicate.
Je ne parle pas français.
And if you want to switch them, you just make one button speak French and the other buttons
That's
speak
awesome.
Greek.
Just like my girlfriend's.
Yep, exactly.
Could be a rap lyric.
Just kidding.
But yeah, to that same point, Josh, like that's another thing I think in our corner is just like the whole AXS ecosystem means that you can basically take any of our AXS enabled components and they will work together.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And I got to tell you from our shop experience, the Reverb owners are probably the happiest.
They're zealots.
Yeah,
yes.
They really love that post, and I have one issue when I repair them that Troy taught me the fix to. And since he taught me that, we fix them in-house, which is great. So when they need service, there's no issues.
Not a common problem, just something that comes up occasionally.
It's actually really common, and it's a pain in the ass, but happens to be because of the vent valve.
What is the problem?
So
what are the users' experience?
So when you have these posts, you may have some air migrate onto the other side of the piston and enter the oil, which causes like a spring effect or a suspensioning is what we call it.
Okay.
There's a vent valve that helps purge that air out and basically moves it around. But you have kind of a certain amount of times that you can do this. And sometimes the IFP, which is inside the post, gets stuck up near the top, way out of the way where you can't get it out. And when we have to pull that out, they have a pretty retarded way of pulling it out that works. But you use a bunch of zip ties.
Yep.
It's kind of dumb.
It's in the service manual.
It's totally, you're like 35 zip ties and you just shove them in there. It's the weirdest thing. It is so funny. But when
it's like how I get grips on.
It's weird. Yeah. It is so weird. But he's right. It's like you'll see a picture of some guy stuffing a bunch of zip ties in the Reverb, but the IFP can get stuck so far up there that the zip ties won't get under it to pull it out. Because what they're trying to do is you're pulling out a very sensitive piece of rubber that gets kind of stuck, because it's rubber, and you're trying not to scratch the inside, because if a scratch happens, it can bypass air or oil past.
Yep.
And so you have to be careful. One of the reasons that people bring reverbs here to get them serviced is because it's not a super easy, user-friendly.
It is probably the most service-intensive component.
Yeah, and so, but that one problem, the first couple that I ran into, I had no idea what to do, and I had to send them to RockShox. And, RockShox will take care of people, and they're awesome, but it's a time, no matter what. Even if you're the fastest, even if you're not a normal,
2 days there,
just shipping time is like a week, basically, right?
At least, and then you have in time, and we're known for being a couple day turnaround, and so Troy Lafferty, Laffey, at Colorado Springs, awesome, loves Land Cruisers. No, not Land Cruisers. He's going to be mad.
Land Rovers.
Yeah. He'll be so mad. That. He loves Land Rovers. He taught me a trick to get him out, and man, it works awesome. And so now
the spoke.
Yep. Yeah. And so now we can get him out without damaging anything, and then we can replace the IFP and service it and get it running. I just did one a couple days ago. So
Josh, that's the last thing I'll add here. SRAM versus Shimano.
Yes.
Dane.
Yeah.
Who at Shimano can you call Troy or Double D?
So I will tell you that at Shimano we do have good tech guys, and usually
they do have a great tech team.
They do, and they do a great job. And usually it's compatibilities that we're trying to figure out with them. But they just recently started letting us service a little bit of their brakes, not a whole lot. They have their systems are kind of.
Do their brakes actually need service?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Contrary to rider belief.
Yeah. So, and so there's a bunch of issues that will come up that aren't serviceable. They do a good job, but nobody has the kind of ability for us to work on this product in the shop like SRAM, and nobody supports the bike shop as much as SRAM. I don't want to disparage Shimano because they do a good job. They really do. If I call my rep,
they just have a different approach.
Yeah, they're some of their ecosystems are just closed and they're not really up for repair. Like you don't take apart a Shimano shifter. Like you don't. It's gonna not go back together. So it won't. And we've known that for years. And there's mechanics that will try, and there's mechanics that will be meticulous enough to maybe get it back together. At a business sense,
I think I've taken apart both SRAM and Shimano, and I've had much better success getting the SRAM.
Yeah. There's like 7 parts in a SRAM, and they make them serviceable, and they tell you that they're serviceable. You don't have to go on the dark web to find out about it. And so there's a lot more serviceability in the SRAM stuff that's kind of built in. And I know Chris Manny. I can hear
shout out Manny.
I can hear him in my ear going. Because you don't need to, like I could totally hear Chris Manning. Like I know what he'd say, but when you're a mechanic, you don't want to hear that's just send that back. You don't want to hear that. You want to fix it. Like mechanics love to fix stuff, and it takes away our love when we have to send something back.
So this has been worth it because the serviceability thing was never something like when you and I talked about it. We didn't bring that up.
Yeah,
it just didn't come to the conversation, and I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like personally relate to that. So that's interesting.
Yeah. It's cool stuff. So we got to do another episode with him.
I think so.
Cause we didn't talk about,
we didn't talk
about flight attendant.
We didn't talk about the Mavens.
We didn't talk about Mavens.
Can I ask a Maven question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you switched to mineral oil.
Yes.
Are we going to see mineral oil in the future and other SRAM braking products?
We're always working on new stuff.
It's a good answer.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
That's a good non-answer.
He's like, I don't know.
I mean, you think we made a specific fluid for just one brake?
Yeah, that would be stupid.
But
all right. You heard it here first.
Yep.
Mineral oil coming on all future SRAM brakes.
Is that all you want to know about the Mavens?
That's all I want to know.
That's it.
That's it.
You like one of the biggest changes in their brake system ever, and you're like,
mineral oil.
Use mineral oil. It's not the reason.
And
they have the
I'm
DB8s,
sold.
by the way.
Huh?
They have the DB8s, our mineral oil too.
Yeah, those came out a while before.
Yep.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
And they're inexpensive. You should be on them.
I will preach my point on other product I can't stop talking about, and it is Mavens, because it is just on my personal bike. And I loved codes. I had no issues with codes after learning and loving Mavens. I can't go back between bikes.
I got to tell you, not to keep dragging this out because our listeners, I think our listeners would want to know this because this is something that comes up in the shop, and I got to ask you about it because I have a theory.
Brakes are always a very, very touchy subject too.
Yeah, they kind of get stopped.
Pun intended.
I couldn't come up with something. Anyway, so we're experiencing a lot of bikes coming with codes, and customers are saying things like they don't stop. I can't stop. And it is blowing my mind because the code is one of the more powerful brakes on the market. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on, what is causing that reaction, and what is there a level of code that is less than what I'm used to?
Did they come from Shimano where it's got that on-off feel?
That's my theory. Here's my theory, not to prompt you into an answer, but because I really want to know if there's something other than this, but Shimano does have like an on-off bite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a light switch versus a dimmer.
And then when you pull a Shimano, as you pull, you don't get any more power. It's pretty much
it's on off.
Yeah,
whereas most of a SRAM brake power comes towards the end of the lever stroke.
Yeah, but you have to use a lot more finger power, which I'm used to. You know, I'm as a downhiller, I'm pulling hard.
You're great with finger power.
Yeah, I can finger power like you wouldn't believe. I power through my fingering like you wouldn't believe. But I don't know.
Oh my god!
I thought that was good.
My god.
I was trying to get the word bang in there, but it didn't work. So.
It's probably good that you didn't.
But like I said earlier, I'm a light breaker. I use guides on my downhill bike. I use 2-piston on my trail bikes because I'm trying to keep them light. I don't use a lot of brake. I don't brake hard, and so my experience is like you don't need all of this brake. Why? How would a code not give you enough brake? So.
Have you heard that, and can you attribute it to anything?
Yeah.
I would say the number one thing when people say my brakes don't stop is, one, they're usually poorly bedded. This is my PSA: bed your brakes in, people.
Yes.
They'll never work. Like
what does bedding your brakes mean, Jimmy?
Bedding your brakes is the process of actually transferring your brake pad material to the braking surface of the rotor. So your rotor.
What is SRAM's recommended process for bedding your brakes?
50 repetitions.
50?
Yeah.
For how long for each repetition?
So basically a repetition would consist of getting your bike up to about just like trail speed and coming to a slow, gradual, and not complete stop, kind of a rolling stop.
50? I've always done 10.
Dude.
Even 50 is arguably not enough. And a lot of people do rely on, well, I'll bet it on the trail. I'll get them nice and hot on my local segment.
Yeah.
And then beyond that too is just also matching your pad material and rotors for your ride type. I feel like there's been a lot of hype around, specifically like steel sintered compounds, just, trying to beef up brakes in the biggest way you can. And it's not always the best option for your ride locale, like especially here. Like an organic pad will always stay just ambiently warm enough and will not encounter enough moisture to, wear versus a steel pad, really performs at its best when it's at, a higher temperature, which you're not really ever getting your brakes to around a lot of the local riding here.
Yeah.
And are made to withstand moisture and debris and stuff. Again, stuff that you don't really encounter as much in the desert. So
I love it when I do shit and don't even know I'm doing it right because I'm more of an organic pad, mainly for quiet. I want quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
And then metal pads on my downhill bike because I don't want them worn out by the first run.
For a bike park bike, absolutely. When you're doing laps and, you could be doing it in the rain.
Yeah.
And then beyond that too, there's a lot to be said too about just brake lever setup too. And our brakes definitely favor a certain kind of setup, usually pretty far inboard on the bars.
So pulling at the very end of them?
Yes, pulling at the very tip of the lever blade.
Have you guys done any studies on how much lever, because there's a competitor that I ride also that is in the middle between the two. They have a modulation, but you don't have to pull as hard. Mm-hmm. And so in Shimano's, I got to tell you, and so many people are going to be mad at me, but every bike that I get with Shimano brakes on, I pull them off immediately and sell them. It's not because it's not a good brake. It's because I've gotten used to a style of brake that I prefer.
And then that completely rewrites how you ride a trail and your braking points.
Yeah. And so if I have multiple bikes and they have different brakes on them, half the trail I'm trying to figure out how to brake.
This is what kills me on Lacey. She's got Shimano's on one.
Yeah.
And she's got SRAM on the other. And then we just put Hayes on a third. And
I feel like I'm pretty sure she's alien. I think she's coming. Because you said she came from what, Safford?
Safford.
Yeah, that's not real.
It's pretty much a foreign
Safford's not
country.
real.
It's like
Yeah.
Mars.
No, not alien like that. Like, yeah, she's a alien. Like
Yeah, like
she's
Mars.
extra. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they just took a ship, and Safford is a ship with just some buildings. So that's my thought. But anyway,
No offense to our Safford contingent.
but the pull of the lever, my theory, like I said, is that with codes, you've got to pull and then start pulling harder for more braking. And if you're used to Shimano, you pull just the Shimano rate, and then you never get to the power.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if you don't have a bedded-in brake system, you're hitting that wall, and then you're not generating the friction. So it feels like you're pulling the lever as much as you can.
Yeah.
You know, like it's clamped as tight as it's going to be, but then you also don't have the friction aspect.
Yeah, because I'll go out in the parking lot and I'll ride the same bike that the customer's like, these don't work, and I'm flipping over the bars, you know. I'm not even kidding. Like, this has happened multiple times, and I'm like, and we pull the brakes off, you know, and the customer ends up buying Shimano, and I think it's a style difference. I really do.
Right.
So
yeah, personal preference, but again, bed your brakes, people. Check it.
Yeah.
Look for hot spots. Your brake rotor offers 0 stopping power until it is bed in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think of just like the clamping mechanism of a brake and don't really take into consideration that it's very much
just contaminate your pads and see how fast. Like it's crazy. So
All right, so let's recap, and then we'll finish up. And I can't believe I'm going to say this publicly, but I want more SRAM. So will you come back on and talk with us again?
Yes, let's do it in the spring. There'll be some
cool
cool stuff to talk about later on.
Awesome, man. I don't want to wait that long.
But if we recap the stuff that we talked about, let me see how I do, and then you can correct me where I missed it. Right. So like I challenged Jimmy to like talk me into SRAM.
Yeah.
He talked about compatibility. He talked about serviceability. He talked about specifically with the AXS stuff, how everything works together. Yep. I don't have to worry about, does this part work with that part? It all works together. The reverb is supposed to be awesome, although I got to sell my third child to
that's true
to buy one.
Yeah.
The Mavens are great. All future SRAM brakes are going to come out with mineral oil, which is the key selling point. Just kidding.
Oh man, we're gonna have a talk about brake
I know.
oil.
That's an episode alone.
Whole episode on brake oil. So
I know I'm just fucking with you, man.
I know, but yeah.
What I missed, man.
That was a good recap, I would say, top to bottom. And that your local bike shop likes to work on SRAM.
Yeah, well, and we didn't mention this, but we've mentioned in different podcasts is SRAM, and not that Shimano hasn't done this, but SRAM has made a big push to be a partner with the bike shops. Mm-hmm. They realize that the bike shop is where people go, they congregate, they can find, rides, they can find friends, they can find advice, and that is something they find valuable, and they've made an investment into the bike shops as far as that goes. And the bike shops in general respond to that, like, hey, thanks.
I'd like to shout out to our female listeners as well. There's also a lot of single guys working at bike shops. So
oh my God,
come on by and take your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
scoop one up. So. Yeah. I mean, Shimano's done great things for the industry. You'll never hear me, with exception, trashing any of their products, but one of the big things too is cycling is just an aspect of what Shimano does, and we only do bikes.
Yeah, and it gets back to that slower and faster reaction time.
Yeah,
Shimano is doing the same things. They're doing it at their pace, and then SRAM does their pace, and they're not always the same. And sometimes Shimano kills it. They do. Mm-hmm. Honestly, they come out with something and they just kill it. SRAM has just lately been so much faster to things. We
engage with like the enthusiast segment of this hobby, which is the people that are at bike shops that like new stuff, like to put it to its limits and test for future stuff. We would rather be making something and bringing you something new and hearing your feedback than just in our own silo make something that we think is perfect by our standards.
And I got to tell you, something that I'm personally making a big change in my life to not pick sides, and that's true.
You're trying to do that in lots of things.
Yeah, and so I have moved away from one brand in my suspension to adopt more brands, and I'm going to do that with my drivetrain. I'm going to do that with other things to make sure that I am a well-rounded person.
As a bike shop owner, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I don't want to just pick something just because it's Raiders or Cowboys.
Yeah.
I'm just I
don't want that either. I like a bike shop employee that entertains everything.
If you see a bike out there with one brand brand in the drivetrain and one brand in the brakes, that's very common, and I think that's a good way to approach it, and it may be surprising that it's the opposite on one bike and the opposite on another. You just get what's good for you. So,
yeah. Jimmy, you got any final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, I feel very strongly about the brake bedding.
Do you know any shops that use those machines?
Yes, actually, I've seen a few pop up recently. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I think that could be a really big game
shit!
changer.
What are you talking about? I might have to buy one of these things.
Oh, you won't want to do it.
They're very expensive.
Yeah,
I
think you could make one out of a cooler motor. I'm pretty sure
you really could.
Yeah,
it's essentially just a machine that runs the wheel on a drum.
Just put a rubber band on the brake lever and
more or less to prescribed extents. And I really do think that that is something. Again, we could get into a whole other episode of that, but I
think so. Primarily, if you live in an area with like bad weather and stuff, like we don't even want to go test ride when it's raining. Not that it rains here much, but if it's snowing or raining, you're not taking your bike out, and so they may be not getting bred in, and the bike gets stuck on the floor for sale with the thought that we'll do it later, and then the customer goes and takes it home and doesn't have the experience. So this machine lets you do it in the shop, so you don't have to go around the block. You don't have mechanics like coming back like out of breath like me.
Dude, Ben Chandler's going to go buy one of these now.
Absolutely. But
shout out to Ben at Ben's Bikes.
To all those people listening, this is a prime place to make something, because right now there's 2 brands that I know of, and they're very expensive. And this is like
I'm cutting this out.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to sell this service.
We've been looking for a product.
It's so easy. Krettler rollers, you just take the back and put a motor on it. That's it. That's all you need. So.
I'll close with an almost anti-sales pitch, which is before you decide that you need to go out and buy something new, just check the settings and set up on your current product.
That is very good.
Jimmy, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you guys. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
It's fun, and then other people get a hear.
Can you dig it?
And so,
Can you dig it?